Okay, so this week's video is just a bit of an update of what I've been up to and how I've been spending my time during this phase of my injury. Bit of upper body strength between.
No, mummy, stop.
Dog press.
So one of the main things I normally do when I'm sick or not really feeling up to training or during my off season is organising, which is kind of annoying because I've just come off the back of my off season at the end of last year and pretty much had organised the entire house. However, somehow things still get unorganised, so I've been spending my time kind of organising stuff. I am obsessed with The Home Edit on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. But they basically like beautifully organise houses, wardrobes, like pantries, all things like that, and now I want to do it. So I've kind of like on a very low-key scale started doing that a little bit. Started off with organising Lola's cupboard, which had just got completely out of hand. How one tiny little dog has so much stuff, I don't even know. To people who are only... Oh my God! To people who are only here for Lola, these are her favourite treats, so we'll put her delivery address below for these to be sent. Sit. Down. No, down. Look. Look at me. This is Lola's cupboard, which has got a bit out of hand. God. This is the content you're all here for, I know. Lola's GoPro harness. I reckon that might be nearly too small now. Got a bit up hand in there. Right. It's very nice. You might even get an interview of Bob Babbitt if you wear that.
She's the smallest dog in the world.
And
the ones that don't fit.
I need to get some more of these.
What, balls?
No, not balls. Tubs.
Can we just do something?
No. Lola, we'll get it on video if you're going to do it. Ready? Lola. Don't want it. Right, well, remind me that that's not one that she's going to want. Ever. Got like a little junk pot, which you always need a standard junk pot, I think. Just random stuff. Oh yeah.
Oh, I think this is quite cute. We should put, this is Lola's boyfriend here. So we're gonna put a little heart on it. And this is Hugo, the Challenge Roth dog belonging to Felix at Challenge Roth. Cute.
So obviously during this time, I've just been trying to maximise my recovery and do every single thing I can to speed up the healing of this injury. So many of you had reached out to me with things that you have done if you've had this injury, and one of the main things was a lot of you have taken different supplements to try and speed up your healing. So obviously at the beginning of all of this, when I had my MRI, I had an initial blood test done as well, and that all did come back normal and they were happy with the range that it was in for a normal person. But obviously I am an elite level athlete, so some of those vitamin and mineral counts could obviously just be higher because of what I'm doing, and I definitely always recommend that you should get the vitamins and minerals from your diet, but as an athlete I don't think there's any harm in topping up with additional supplements. So one of the main things that I often get asked is where do I get my supplements from, and is there something that I look out for? And I always make sure that my supplements are informed sport or batch tested, so I know that there's nothing in them that I'm not allowed to have. They do cost a little bit more because they've gone through that extra testing to make sure that they're safe for elite athletes to use. But if you are an athlete at the level where you're going to be drug tested, then I would 100% recommend getting the informed sport supplements, because then you know they're safe, they're not going to be contaminated with anything that you can't have. So supplements wise, over the winter I just stopped taking any supplements, like I said in my previous video, because I wasn't really training that much and I didn't feel like I needed them. In hindsight, I should have kept taking them, but now I am back on some supplements. A lot of these have been suggested to me from other athletes that have had this injury. In short, the list of those is definitely vitamin D, because that helps your absorption of calcium. Calcium is the other supplement that I've been taking. I always take iron because as a female athlete, I think that that is really important. Here he is. Oh my God. Doritos, essential for bone growth. Another supplement that came up quite a lot from female athletes that have had this injury was collagen as well. So I've started taking that, and also omega-3, which again you can get from your diet. I'm not a massive fan of fish, but I have been making the effort to eat some oily fish at least once a week. But omega-3, if you don't have fish in your diet, then obviously you can get a supplement for that. So that's another thing I've included. So not a huge amount, but just a little bit more to help supplement my diet. I have been eating quite a lot during this time. I'm not really too worried about that. I know once I get back to training, my appetite will be high as well. It hasn't really dropped off, to be honest. So not complaining about that. Yeah, I guess that's sort of it on supplement wise, but just making sure that I'm keeping myself healthy. I'm staying stress free, which isn't that easy.
And that's actually not how you do latte out, but it kind of works. It looks like a skeleton, it looks like a spine and ribs.
So obviously whilst I'm not training, I still want to try and keep my blood flow quite high around my body so that there is enough blood supply getting to the injured area in my hip. So I've been doing that by using things like Normatec. So obviously they're just compression boots, they help the blood flow go around the legs. I've actually got a hip specific one that I've been using just to keep the blood in that specific area. So during this time, even though I'm not doing a huge amount, my body is working in funny ways. I'm using crutches to get around. I'm putting more weight through my good leg, the right leg. So my body may be a little bit out of sorts. So I'm making sure to have regular massage with my physio just to keep my body in good nick. Don't let things tighten up too much. Keep my body as loose as possible. And this is again going to come even more important when I get back into training, is making sure my body isn't tightening up in funny ways, because once this injury is mended, I do not want any more for a long, long time. And I just can't wait to be back to my old self and training and feeling good again. So another thing I have been doing that's not strictly just to improve blood flow, but also to minimize my muscle loss during this phase, is to use a Compex machine. So I've been using this pretty much every single day, kind of rotating around my leg muscles just to try and maintain the muscle mass. And this will help me when I come back to training, that I haven't lost all of my muscle and I'm starting from scratch again.
So I saw that and thought, yeah, this will be quite easy, this won't take very long. Then I got it out. And wow, oh, that's the paint. Look how little some of them are. So yeah, hopefully my recovery isn't going to be 6 months long, but I think this is how long this is going to take. I'm going to see how much I can get done today whilst I'm resting, and see if it resembles anything like Lola by the end of the day. Lola, what do you think? Does it look like you? Let me see. Right, I'm just going to put this on my calves before I start. So Compex is basically, it sends like electrical impulses into the muscle. So whilst I'm not able to do any actual training, I don't want to lose my hard-earned muscle mass that helps me swim, bike and run. So you can put these on in different positions on different muscles and then stimulate the muscle. So I'm actually doing a setting at the moment called reinforcement, which basically just means I'm not looking to build muscle mass, I'm just looking to maintain my current muscle mass. Things like calves, which are like a high risk injury area when I do eventually come back to running, I don't want to lose muscle mass and strength there. So this is a good way to start doing that whilst I can't do any leg weight training in the gym. So basically, yeah, I've been doing glutes, hamstrings, calves and quads on this. I haven't looked like I've lost any muscle mass yet. Obviously it's only been a couple of weeks, but this is quite useful. I've never really used it before. Hopefully this is going to help me a little bit in my recovery and my comeback to training once I'm allowed to do that. I feel like I've made this into like a dangerous activity because I've got to paint within the lines, but when this contracts my muscles, I think it's going to make me jump. So then I've got to try and stay within the lines. So we've made it like a sport, basically. Painting by numbers is now a extreme sport. So that's my first job, is to put the right numbers on the right pots. So we'll start with number 1, which is... So this actually came from a person called Steve, who is from Painting by Numbers. He watched our YouTube video and thought that this would be the perfect way for me to spend my time whilst I can't do any actual training. So thank you, Steve, for watching, and thank you so much for this. Hopefully you're going to see the finished bit of artwork before my hip's finished, but we'll have a little race. So obviously I hope my hip wins, but we'll see how good my painting skills are. But thank you for sending this.
Keep moving, keep moving.
Oh, that's just, see, this is, it gets quite aggressive even in the warm-up. What are you doing? How to learn control. Here we go, I'm scared. I'm actually sweating in my hands. It feels just like your muscles are almost going to get cramped because they just go. And it gradually increases, and then potentially I could go a bit harder than that, but I'm scared because sometimes you press up 1 and then over the course of that 10 seconds that it increases just too much. But we'll see on this one. Whoa. So we have been filming for about 1 week, and this is as far as I've got with my painting by numbers. I did want to have it finished, but believe it or not, this takes absolutely ages. It's highly addictive. I've done this for like hours and hours and only got this much done. So pretty happy with the progress. And if you keep watching our vlogs, then you'll see this hopefully get to the completed point, hopefully before the end of the year. I'm not going to be too ambitious with it. Obviously, the more I get back into training, the less I'm going to be able to spend time doing this. But it is a great way to switch off. And I think most athletes have quite addictive personalities, so this is super addictive and probably quite a good way for athletes to switch off. So yeah, hopefully I will have it done by the end of the year, but don't hold me to it. So I think this is something that is going to help speed up my recovery. This particular device is something that has been suggested to help promote bone healing and speed up the recovery of my bone. So we spoke to the company called Bioventus, and they have actually gifted me one of these devices to help heal my bones. So I'm really excited to actually get started with this. It has a lot of evidence to kind of suggest that it is going to help increase my healing and speed it up. So yeah, I'm excited to get started with this today, but it might not even be that, so I probably should open the box. Lola! So basically, the clinic I've been going to for my MRIs, blood checks, etc., etc., I was lucky enough to meet the lady from Bioventus last week, and she showed me how to use it, so I already know how to use it. I also had like an ultrasound scan where they showed me the exact point to put the machine, and I did have like a big drawing on my leg to show me where it was, a circle to show me where to put it so I can remember where that was. And then basically this just goes on for 20 minutes a day and helps my bone to regenerate and mend. Inside here. There we go. And this is the actual point where basically like an ultrasound wave that goes through and triggers the point where you've got the damage and should hopefully promote the bone to heal. So we will give this a go. Ultrasound gel. That's my little calendar, and then it's going to start the cycles. So basically with this, you're meant to do it at the exact same time every single day. It basically, in really simple terms, takes your bone's ability to regenerate to maximum, which lasts for roughly 24 hours, maybe slightly more, and then it starts to decline. So if you're able to use this device at the same time every single day, it will keep your bone's ability to repair, regenerate at maximum. So you should just try and keep that going whilst you're using this. And obviously I'm going to do that because I want this to fix as quickly as possible. Day 2, and that's it. 20 minutes. Well, obviously just super simple to use. I had obviously the ultrasound scan that I think I said earlier that pinpointed the exact spot where it needs to go, which is obviously here. You make sure you use the ultrasound gel, or it just won't work without that, and that ultrasound signal should stimulate some bone production. She obviously didn't like the sound of that.
It's a bit of an odd one because you don't actually feel anything while you're using it. So you're like, is this actually doing anything? But there is a lot of data and science behind this, a lot of evidence that it has worked for patients, especially in like non-union fractures, in maybe elderly patients whose bones just haven't got that kind of capacity to fix as well anymore. These have worked really well for them. So I'm confident that that will help increase my speed of healing a little bit, and all of the kind of specialists I've spoke to have suggested using this as well. So I'm really hopeful that that's going to help maybe shave off a little bit of time on my recovery and help me get back to training a little bit faster. This feels like the potential to be the hardest part of the injury whilst I can't do anything. And I want to believe that it is, but I also think that the next phase, as I start to introduce training again, could be really difficult because I will have lost fitness. That's without a doubt, and my fitness will have gone down, so that's going to be difficult. I'm just going to be so happy that I can do anything. So I'll be like, give me everything I can have. I just want to train like a nutter. But at the same time, I can't because the risk of injury will be quite high. So this feels like the hardest part of the injury. It's definitely a huge test of patience at the moment because I can't do anything. So I'm just having to bide my time, let my body mend, and just know that I have to bottle up all of this motivation to want to train for when I can get back, but almost just slowly let it out, because to begin with, I'm not going to be able to do a huge amount. I know I'll be so happy to be back training, but I'm just going to have to be sensible when I do get to that point.
No filming today.
No, we are filming it. It's the second
It's the
intro.
truth. I mean, it's not going to go away. We can't film at all for 2 weeks if we don't do it now.
Oh yeah, so actually you can't really see it too well here, but what day was it? One day, not that long ago, because I've still got a black eye under this makeup. I was sat at the table with a biro pen with the plastic lid on the top, just sitting like this, and my hand slipped and the lid of the biro went into my under eye. Luckily my actual eye shut, and it just made me jump, and I was like, oh, that hurt a bit, but whatever, I didn't think anything of it. And then I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh, it's got a little bruise, so it'll be okay, put a bit of ice on it. And then it just developed and developed into an almighty black eye. I haven't had a black eye for years. Did have one when I was about 2 and I was supposed to be a bridesmaid. We'll find a photo. I ran into a cabinet like a few days before the wedding and my mum had to try and cover it up. So yeah, I've always been quite clumsy, but obviously this happened. Second injury in this saga, broken hip, now black eye. I don't know what's more serious. Idiot. Actually, I'm less for harm to myself when I'm training. So the sooner I get back to it, hopefully the better, because there'll be no more of this kind of crap. Wilco! Wilco! Should we put it? Oh, it went well. Hate it when they do this. I've got bloody 16 of this. No, it's not ideal. Why would they put labels on these beautiful boxes? No, it's not the one. You get a little bit carried away. See, patience, test of patience, every single thing. No! Why? Now where? She's run away. She knows it's not the one. Home edit, eat your heart out. Although they go for clear bins, we've gone for grey baskets. That's gonna be my next car, is the shopping bags. I've never used these and I really should have done. They're for like sportswear and waterproof kit to keep them waterproof and sweat repellent or whatever it is. Oh my god.
But yeah, it's been a nice way to just spend my time and feel like I'm actually achieving something even though I'm not training. So yeah, that's been something I've been up to. So another way I've been packing out my time is been doing a little bit more cooking and baking. I've been really lucky on the weekends. Our friends have been coming over to go cycling with Reese, and then they've helped me make a roast dinner in the evening. So we've been cooking and getting pretty good at putting together a decent roast. Lola loves it because it smells so good when we're cooking it, and then she sometimes gets a little bit as well. It's definitely been tough when they can all go out and train and I'm kind of just sat there like, oh, I just can't wait to be back at it. But like I said earlier in the video, I'm just trying to bottle up all of this motivation, because I know once I get back to training, there's always days where you're super tired and you're like, oh, maybe I'll just have a rest. Whilst I will need to listen to that and take on board my body needing a rest, at the same time, if I'm just a little bit tired, I'm gonna be like, well, I'm probably still gonna get out the door and train, because I just, at the moment, am itching to do absolutely anything. It's been nice to kind of take the time to see some of my friends who I wouldn't normally get to see when I'm off training around the world or racing. So just trying to make the most of doing things that I can't normally do.
Yeah, we'll have to put different, nice little relaxing melody over this. Oh wow, see, look, now I've done that side. Look at all that fumigation.
So during this time, I've also been trying to answer some of the questions I've received on the Any Questions app. I don't know if any of you know about that, but basically it's a platform full of experts, and you can sign up, subscribe, and ask these people any questions that you may have, and you will actually get an answer from maybe some of the people that you're super inspired by. I'm trying to use this time wisely to answer those as well. There's quite a lot of good questions on there, so I will get those answered. If you have asked me one, I'm sorry if you're waiting for an answer. I promise in the short-term future you will get an answer from me on those, because I do appreciate those questions coming in. What is your favourite swim session for an endless pool? Oh, this is quite a good question. This is actually a great question, because I often struggle for kind of entertainment in an endless pool. It's not the most interesting way of swimming, so I always break it down into kind of time intervals, because obviously not many smartwatches actually give you a distance while you're swimming on a stationary spot.
Do you think it's beneficial for swimming? And if so, could you demonstrate?
I don't know how I'm going to demonstrate though while I'm so sat here. Woohoo! Okay. Hey Mark, thanks for the question. Unfortunately, in reference to the Red Bull hats and headbands, they are only available for Red Bull athletes, which is why you'll never find them sold online. We are not allowed to do that. And then sculling, I definitely think is massively important for swimming. It's still something I do even as an elite athlete. It's good to know that there is a good prognosis for recovery. It's just a matter of time for things to heal. So at the moment, the timeline for recovery is really up in the air. So hopefully that helps. But being a strong swimmer means that you've got a great background and a great engine to make you into a strong runner. So all the best with your run training. But actually when I'm racing, I opt for the Sky, and that's anywhere from doing like a 5K to a marathon. They are my preferred shoe, just because I find them really stable, really comfortable, good power transfer, and great over the long distances as well. I don't get any issues, so hopefully that helps. So for a good couple of years now, we have definitely wanted to have some Team Charles-Barclay merchandise. So I've been taking this time to do a little bit of research into that. It's probably still going to be a bit of a way into the future, but mainly I wanted to ask you guys, is this something that you guys would be interested in? What would you want to see? If you could have an item of clothing or a hat or socks, what would you want? And maybe put that in the comments below so we can kind of get an idea of, is this something you would be interested in, and what would you like to see if you could wear something that was Team Charles-Barclay branded? Colours, designs, whatever you guys like, let us know, and we can kind of start to build a bit of a picture and an idea of how this might look in the future. We've got a couple couple of ideas around how this could work. We're quite creative people, especially myself and my sister Holly, so we'd like to get creative with it, make some designs and get you guys involved. So let us know what you would like, and that is another thing to keep me busy over the next few weeks. So as always, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of an update of where I'm at. Hopefully it won't be too long away before I can start actually doing something that feels like I'm getting my fitness back. But for now, this is what I've been up to. Thank you for watching, and as always, make sure to like and subscribe for our future videos.
But Mum, you can get it straight away. Just get it.
You can do it. Come on, get